All right, guys, what's going on? So if you watch this video, is because you want an alternative to count your calories. This is something a lot of my clients also use. I've started doing this in the recent kind of month or two. It just kind of clicked in my head, and I thought, you know what? Mindful eating is quite difficult sometimes. Calorie counting isn't for everybody, depending on your relationship with food. So let's try to find something else that works. And I kind of tied in AI with using this resource. So I'll show you how to do that really quickly. So this can be used for anyone. Doesn't matter if you're an athlete, young, old, if you're male, female, if you're trying to gain weight, lose weight, it's just going to give you really good structure. And then it's all about refining and making sure that you tweak it as you go. Because like anything else, you have to just weigh yourself every week and see what the scale's saying, and then just constantly just tweak as you see whether the number's going up, down, or maintaining. So what you're going to do is you're going to click this. You're going to go to Precision Nutrition. This is a cool little guide. So I've been using this with my clients for years now. It just uses your hand as a portion kind of metric or control measure. So your protein is your palm, so your own size and thickness of your palm. Vegetables and fruit is your fist. Okay, portion of carbs. So you could even fit fruit in the carb section if you want to. I just usually do fist, but you think kind of a scoop of your hand is going to be dry, uncooked, like rice, pasta, breads, and then a portion of your thumb is one portion of fat. Okay, so again, you can read through this. I'm not going to go through it all. Kind of just gives you a little bit of an idea. But what we do with this, okay, and I'm just going to show you is you're going to go into ChatGPT or Gemini or any kind of thing that you like to use. And what's cool here is you can actually update your ChatGPT and add files. So I've added this file into here. And what we're going to do is if I just go here, all right, and what it does is saves everything. So it gets better and better and better. But what you're going to do is once you've uploaded the file, and it's really straightforward, you just press plus and you add it in. Okay, you're going to use this prompt. So right here. So you're just going to copy paste this prompt, copy paste, sorry, this prompt, and you can just select the whole thing. You can read it if you want. And what's important is before you do, you have to add this. You want to add your height, your weight, your activity level. Just a quick tip is I would always underestimate your activity level because what happens, some people overestimate. They think they do way more steps, way more workouts, burn way more calories. And then when they start to follow some kind of structured nutrition plan, they actually overeat and then they gain weight and they get pissed off because they're not sure why. So always underestimate. So what I would do is I would write it in detail. Say like I walk about 6,000 steps a day. I do a couple workouts a week. For the most part, I'm set at work, yada, yada, yada. And obviously say if you're male or female, say what you like to eat. So again, be in detail here. If you have eggs in the morning, toast, if you have the same sandwich at lunch, if you have the same meals in the evening, usually weekends are where people kind of divert from their Monday to Friday meals, write it all down and then write down any food preferences or allergies. Because what's then going to happen is using ChatGPT, it's going to spit out some pretty good data for you. So it's going to tell you, this is just an example of what I use for my client. And it's going to give you a rough idea of what you should be aiming for. So like I said, this isn't always going to be bang on. So that's why you have to track your weight on a scale, as well as other things that we track with our clients. So you want to just kind of keep an eye on this, but this is a good spot to start for my client. You wouldn't have to stress about macro splits. I think this is honestly something that most people just get way too obsessed about, but I don't even do any of this with my clients until they get to a point where they're so locked in and they just really want to try. Awesome. But for the most part, you just need to eat more protein. You got to eat less or eat more depending on your goal and just have a balanced diet, right? Whatever is realistic for you. And then from there, what's cool is it's going to spit out a rough idea of what you should be having based on the meals you've already told it you eat. And it's cool because it's going to give you your portion guide, right? So then you can start going, okay, cool. I just need one palm of this or palm of that or a cup of this or a cup of that, right? And it's going to give you some ideas Wednesday, right? And what's even better is you can just use this as a framework. You can copy this, put it in your phone, and you're going, okay, I need 1.5 palms per meal, one cup, right? One thumb, one fist. So that's just your structure. So it doesn't matter if you're out for dinner or if you're out for work or, if you're just doing social stuff with the family, it's just really simple structure to follow. And then it just comes down to doing what you said you do, having the accountability, which is obviously where I come in and I help my clients do that. And then just sticking to the plan. Okay. So all the other metrics I wouldn't stress about. I would just really focus on this based on the 2, 3, whatever, how many meals you have a day. And that's the other thing I didn't mention is you should probably say how many meals, okay, you have a day, because that's also going to help. So once you've done this on ChatGPT, what's great is that you can just keep asking questions and refining it and making it better. So hopefully that makes sense. All right. Now, last 2 bits, it's just kind of bonus stuff, but in terms of mindset and goal setting, just an easy what I think is underrated tip is changing your phone background to stuff that you want to do every day. And what you do is you reverse engineer your goals, what you're trying to focus on. So in my case, like a lot of it's business work, self-development work. So like these are things that I'm trying to do most days. I don't always do them, but what I do is I have it in my phone. I just tick it off as I go. And there's some of them that are more important than others. So this is just an easy thing. And then what I do is when I meditate and visualize, which again takes time, takes practice. If you're not used to it, I'm definitely not an expert at it, but I just try to do it most days, is I visualize all these tasks. I visualize everything I'm trying to do, try to be successful with whether it's my health, my self-development, my business, whatever, and just really locking in 3 to 5 minutes. So that's just an easy little tip. If you don't do that, definitely do it. Either write it down, put it on the wall, put it on your fridge, or somewhere you're going to see it every day. It just reminds you and it's super powerful. Okay. And then lastly, because some of you guys are potentially just trying to lose weight and get back into playing sports, or you're an athlete just trying to improve your performance, your athleticism, or you might be like me just in trying to increase your longevity. Just something to think about from a training perspective. So physics, force equals mass times acceleration. Okay. Now, if we want to increase our force output, which is super important for sports, not only in terms of injury prevention, but if you want to run higher, or sorry, run faster, jump higher, just produce force fast, right? Obviously, we got to get stronger. So one thing that I've definitely started kind of doing more of with my clients is really helping them build breaks by doing eccentrics. So think like slow tempo squats, front squats, slow leg presses on the way down, even like slow hamstring work or slow leg extension work. Basically, just really doing a good job at getting stronger, building muscle, but building really good breaks. Because the big thing people struggle with, and I think people overcomplicate, is you don't need to be super specific in the gym. Like certain times you might want to do a few little exercises or slightly tweaks of what you might kind of be doing on a bench press or a row or whatever, and it can help your stability. But after that, it's just getting strong and then just doing the thing. So if you want to jump higher and run faster, then you need to jump higher and run faster more often. So you just need to practice it. Same with any sport. Like you're not going to get better at your sport by being in the weight in the weight room, but you are going to be more athletic potentially by doing certain things in the weight room that then translate to doing things on the pitch or on the court or on the field, because you're stronger, you can produce force faster and all that kind of stuff. So it's just something to think about. We want to build breaks, we want to get strong. And then kind of going back onto this like power explosive training, like depth jumps helps you build breaks, helps you build explosive power, right? It's like slightly different focus points versus maybe other plyometrics. But when we're talking about power and explosive training, you want to make sure you're focusing on producing force fast. Think about like an impulse, right? If I had a twin and we both lifted 100 kilos, if he lifts it slowly, you're just going to see like a small blip on a kind of graph. But if I lift it 2 times faster, you're going to see a massive blip, right? Which is a faster or bigger impulse. And a big thing about training, or I guess when you're trying to run faster, jump higher as an example, is we need to create really, really big, fast impulses, because that's the difference between maybe being a little bit faster and jumping a little bit higher and just being able to train your body to do that. So things like trap bar high pulls, cleans, hang cleans, overhead throws, there's loads of other variations. This is going to help us do that, right? Expressing force fast. So something to think about if you don't do that in your training. And then lastly, I kind of touched on this, but if you want to get good at a thing, you got to do the thing more. And this is where I see so many coaches and so many people do all these fancy friggin' things in the gym. And some of it has its place for sure. But honestly, I think if you just got stronger, if you just focus on reducing your injury risk by just taking care of the little things that are kind of bothering you right now, building your base, getting strong as hell, and then making sure that you can jump and run without pain, and then slowly building in speed and speed and speed and speed on all those things, or maybe slightly weighted jumps or slightly weighted like sled sprints and stuff, I think you notice a massive difference. And that's honestly kind of what I've been focusing on and what I focused on with a lot of my clients. And it's what's helped me be as athletic as I have been at 34 without really much kind of issues or pains, knock on wood here. But just something to think about. And technique goes a huge way. Like you can be as strong as you want. You can be an Olympic weightlifter. You can be like those Chinese weightlifters who kind of lift crazy amount of weight. But if you see them jump, like they can maybe touch the rim, but they have shit mechanics, so they're never going to be able to dunk. So, anyways, just 2 little extra bits here on top of the nutrition, because I know a lot of people are kind of focused on a lot of this. And if you're not, well, sorry for wasting your time, but hopefully you took some stuff away from nutrition. But as always, if you have any questions, if you want to join my free APF community, you can just hit me up, drop me a DM. I'm always posting a link. And if you just have any questions, you're interested about doing any work, you want to work on coaching, or you just need the accountability, whatever it is, just hit me up, guys. But appreciate you listening. And yeah, take care.